The Psychology of Rich and Poor, How to Think Like the Wealthy. Written by Ronnie Rowland. Published by Growth Literacy Lounge. What if the biggest obstacle to your financial success is not your job, your background, or even the economy, but your mindset? For years, people have been told that the path to wealth is simple: work hard, save money, avoid debt, and hope for the best. Yet, millions of hard-working individuals still struggle financially, living paycheck to paycheck despite their efforts. Meanwhile, the wealthy continue to grow their fortunes, seemingly playing by a different set of rules. The truth is, they are playing by a different set of rules based not on luck or privilege, but on psychology. Wealth is not just about money, it is about how you think about money. The rich and the poor do not just have different bank accounts, they have different belief systems, habits, and decision-making patterns that determine their financial destinies. The wealthy approach risk, time, investments, and opportunities in ways that most people never consider. They understand that money is not something you simply earn and spend, it is something you grow, leverage, and multiply. This book is not about shortcuts or overnight success. It is about reprogramming the way you think about wealth so that you can break free from financial limitations. It will expose the subconscious beliefs that keep people trapped in financial struggle and reveal the mindset shifts that allow the wealthy to thrive. Each chapter will break down the core psychological differences between the rich and the poor, providing actionable steps to help you adopt the thinking patterns that lead to financial independence. By the time you finish this book, you will not just understand how the wealthy think, you will think like the wealthy. You will learn how to take calculated risks, leverage your time effectively, build valuable networks, and make smarter financial decisions. Most importantly, you will walk away with a blueprint for long-term wealth building that goes beyond just making money. You will know how to keep it, grow it, and sustain it. Financial success is not reserved for a select few. It is not about being born rich or having the right connections. It is about understanding and applying the psychology of wealth. If you are ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about money and start thinking like the wealthy, then let's begin. Chapter 1. The wealth mindset versus the poverty mindset. Imagine two people standing at the edge of an opportunity. One sees potential, the other sees danger. One thinks, "How can I make this work?" The other says, "What if I fail?" These differences in thinking are not random. They stem from deep-seated psychological patterns that shape how people interact with money. The rich and the poor do not just have different bank balances, they have different mindsets. The wealthy see money as a tool, something that can be multiplied and leveraged. They believe financial success is a skill that can be learned and mastered. The poor often see money as scarce, something to be held onto tightly for fear of losing it. This mindset fosters hesitation, risk aversion, and a cycle of financial struggle. One of the biggest distinctions between the rich and the poor is their relationship with opportunity. The wealthy believe opportunities are abundant. If they miss one, another will come. They take calculated risks, knowing failure is often a stepping stone to success. The poor mindset, however, sees opportunity as rare and fleeting. When faced with risk, the instinct is to avoid rather than embrace. This fear of failure creates paralysis, keeping people stuck in the same financial patterns year after year. Consider an aspiring entrepreneur who hesitates to invest in a business idea. They worry about losing money, so they do nothing. In contrast, a wealthy-minded individual sees the same opportunity and asks, "How can I make this work?" They educate themselves, seek mentorship, and take action. Even if they fail, they adjust and try again. This difference in mindset determines who moves forward and who stays stuck. Wealthy individuals also think long-term, while those with a poverty mindset focus on immediate needs. The rich understand that money grows over time through investments, assets, and strategic decisions. The poor, trapped in a cycle of survival, often think only about the next paycheck. This short-term focus leads to decisions that provide temporary relief but no lasting progress. A key component of the wealth mindset is taking personal responsibility. The rich do not blame external circumstances for their financial position. They believe they have control over their financial destiny. The poor mindset, however, tends to attribute financial struggles to outside forces, bad luck, the economy, or unfair systems. While external factors do play a role, believing they are the sole reason for financial hardship leads to inaction. The power of association is another defining factor. Wealthy individuals surround themselves with others who challenge them to think bigger. They seek out mentors, successful friends, and financial education. The poor mindset often leads to staying in the same social circles where limiting beliefs about money are reinforced. This environment keeps them within their financial comfort zone, making growth difficult. Think about the last time you hesitated to take a financial risk. What held you back? Was it fear, doubt, a belief that wealth is only for a select few? These are signs of a poverty mindset, and the good news is that mindsets can change. The first step is awareness. Recognizing these patterns is the beginning of transformation. The wealthy did not start out knowing everything about money. They learned, adapted, and applied new strategies. If you want to shift your financial reality, you must start thinking like they do. Begin by questioning your beliefs about money. Challenge the idea that wealth is out of reach. Start viewing money as a tool for growth, not just survival. Your mindset shapes your actions, and your actions create your financial reality. If you can shift the way you think, you can change the way you live. Chapter 2. How your money beliefs were formed. From the moment you were born, you were absorbing beliefs about money. You watched how your parents handled finances, listened to their conversations, and internalized their attitudes. If money was a source of stress in your household, you likely developed an association between money and anxiety. If your family struggled, you may have adopted the belief that wealth is difficult to attain. These early experiences created the foundation of your financial mindset, shaping how you see money today. Most people are unaware of these subconscious beliefs. They assume their financial reality is the result of external factors, but in truth, much of it is shaped by deeply ingrained thought patterns. If you grew up hearing phrases like money doesn't grow on trees or rich people are greedy, you likely absorb these messages without question. These beliefs become part of your internal programming, influencing your decisions without you even realizing it. Cultural and societal influences also play a role. In some communities, wealth is celebrated, and financial success is seen as an achievement. In others, there is an unspoken rule that being rich is somehow immoral or that struggling financially is a sign of humility. The media reinforces these narratives, portraying the wealthy as either villains or exceptions to the rule. These messages shape perceptions, making some people believe wealth is unattainable or even undesirable. School systems further reinforce limiting money beliefs. Most educational institutions do not teach financial literacy. Instead, they prepare students to become employees, not wealth builders. The idea of working for a paycheck is ingrained early on, while concepts like investing, entrepreneurship, and passive income are rarely discussed. As a result, many people grow up thinking that financial security comes only from getting a job and working hard, rather than from creating multiple income streams or leveraging money wisely. Social circles have a significant impact as well. If you grew up around people who struggled financially, their mindset likely influenced yours. Conversations about money in these circles often revolve around survival rather than growth. Discussions may focus on making ends meet, rather than building wealth. Without exposure to different perspectives, it becomes easy to adopt the belief that financial success is out of reach. Your experiences with money also shape your financial mindset. If you have ever been in debt, lost money, or struggled financially, these experiences may have created a fear-based relationship with money. You might hesitate to take financial risks, fearing another setback. On the other hand, if you have had positive experiences, such as making a successful investment or starting a profitable business, you may have developed a more confident approach to money. The good news is that your financial beliefs are not fixed. They can be identified, challenged, and changed. The first step is self-awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that come up when you think about money. Do you feel guilt, fear, or anxiety? Do you believe that wealth is only for a select few? These thoughts are clues to your subconscious programming. Start questioning the beliefs you have carried for years. Ask yourself, is this belief serving me? Is it helping me grow financially, or is it holding me back? Many limiting beliefs do not hold up under scrutiny. The idea that you have to work hard to make money, for example, is only partially true. Hard work matters, but the wealthy focus on working smart, leveraging skills, networks, and assets to create financial freedom. Rewriting your financial beliefs requires intentional effort. Surround yourself with people who have a positive relationship with money. Read books, listen to podcasts, and expose yourself to new ways of thinking. The more you challenge old beliefs, the more you can reshape your financial reality. Your financial past does not have to dictate your future. The beliefs you inherited are not permanent. By identifying and changing them, you can develop a new mindset, one that supports growth, abundance, and financial success. Chapter 3. The Psychology of Risk and Opportunity. Every financial decision involves risk, yet the way people perceive risk determines whether they stay stuck or move forward. The wealthy embrace risk as a necessary part of growth, while those with a poverty mindset see it as something to avoid. This fundamental difference shapes their financial outcomes. The ability to take calculated risks separates those who build wealth from those who remain in financial survival mode. Fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people hesitate to take risks. Many have been conditioned to believe that making mistakes is bad, so they avoid situations where failure is possible. But the wealthy understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of the process. They see every setback as a learning experience, a stepping stone to greater opportunities. Instead of fearing failure, they ask, "What can I learn from this?" Opportunity is often disguised as uncertainty. Many people reject opportunities simply because they feel unfamiliar or uncomfortable. They assume that if something is uncertain, it must be dangerous. But the wealthy recognize that every great financial opportunity comes with some level of risk. They focus on potential rewards rather than potential losses. This shift in thinking allows them to take action where others hesitate. Consider someone who wants to start a business but is afraid of losing money. They analyze the risks, overthink every possibility, and ultimately decide to do nothing. Meanwhile, a wealthy-minded individual in the same situation asks, "How can I minimize risk while maximizing opportunity?" They seek advice, test small-scale versions of their idea, and take action. Even if they fail, they gain experience and adjust their approach. This mindset leads to progress, while the fear-based mindset leads to stagnation. A key difference between the rich and the poor is their approach to decision-making. The wealthy make decisions based on logic, data, and long-term potential. Those with a poverty mindset often make decisions based on emotion, particularly fear. They focus more on what could go wrong than on what could go right. As a result, they stay in their comfort zones, avoiding anything that feels uncertain. Risk tolerance is not something people are born with, it is developed over time. Exposure to small risks builds confidence in handling larger ones. The first time someone invests, starts a business, or negotiates a higher salary, it feels uncomfortable. But with repetition, they become more comfortable with taking risks. The wealthy understand this and push themselves to step outside their comfort zones regularly. Financial risk is not the only type of risk that matters. Social and professional risks also play a role in success. Asking for a raise, networking with influential people, or pitching an idea all involve putting oneself in a vulnerable position. The poor mindset avoids these situations, fearing rejection or embarrassment. The wealthy mindset embraces them, understanding that every rejection brings them closer to an opportunity. One way to shift the perception of risk is to reframe failure. Instead of seeing failure as a sign to stop, see it as feedback. If an investment does not work out, what lesson can be learned? If a business fails, what skills were gained in the process? The most successful people have failed more times than the average person has even tried. The difference is that they keep going. Risk-taking does not mean being reckless. The wealthy take calculated risks by doing research, seeking advice, and preparing for setbacks. They do not blindly throw money into investments or start businesses without a plan. They gather knowledge, weigh the risks, and take action. Those with a poverty mindset, on the other hand, either avoid risks altogether or take uncalculated risks, hoping for a lucky break. The way someone thinks about risk determines their financial trajectory. Playing it safe may feel comfortable, but it rarely leads to financial growth. The wealthy understand that opportunity lies on the other side of uncertainty. The question is not whether risks should be taken, but whether they will be managed wisely. The ability to embrace calculated risk is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. Chapter 4. The Role of Self-Worth in Financial Success. Your financial success is a direct reflection of how you see yourself. People who believe they deserve wealth tend to attract it, while those who feel unworthy of financial success often struggle to attain or maintain it. Self-worth and net worth are closely connected. Not because money defines a person's value, but because how a person values themselves influences their financial decisions. People with high self-worth approach money with confidence. They believe they have something valuable to offer, whether through their skills, ideas, or business ventures. Because of this, they negotiate higher salaries, charge what they are worth, and invest in themselves. They understand that financial success is not just about external factors but about recognizing and claiming their own value. Those with low self-worth, however, often settle for less. They undercharge for their work, hesitate to ask for raises, and avoid opportunities that require them to step into a higher version of themselves. One of the biggest financial mistakes people make is tying their self-worth to external validation. They wait for someone else to tell them they deserve a raise, a promotion, or a better financial situation. The wealthy mindset does not wait for permission. Those who succeed financially take ownership of their value and act accordingly. They do not ask, "Am I good enough?" Instead, they ask, "How can I bring more value and claim what I deserve?" Early experiences shape a person's sense of worth. If someone grew up in an environment where they were made to feel small, ignored, or unimportant, they may struggle with confidence in adulthood. This directly impacts financial behavior. A person who feels unworthy may be hesitant to invest in themselves, turn down better opportunities out of fear of failure, or even self-sabotage when they start experiencing success. They unconsciously reinforce the belief that they do not deserve more. Limiting beliefs about money and self-worth often go hand in hand. People who believe they are only worth a certain amount will unconsciously cap their earning potential. If someone has always made a modest income, they may feel uncomfortable with the idea of making significantly more. They may even push away opportunities that would elevate their financial situation, rationalizing it with thoughts like, "I don't need that much," or "people like me don't make that kind of money." These beliefs create an invisible ceiling on success. Wealthy individuals think differently. They see themselves as capable of handling wealth, managing success, and growing financially. This confidence allows them to take bold actions, whether that means investing in their own education, starting a business, or taking financial risks that lead to greater rewards. They understand that self-worth is not just about feeling good but about believing they have something valuable to contribute to the world. One of the simplest ways to elevate financial success is to strengthen self-worth. This begins with mindset shifts. Instead of thinking, "I don't deserve more money," shift the thought to, "I am capable of earning and managing more wealth." Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough to charge more for my services," shift the thought to, "I provide immense value, and I should be compensated fairly." Small changes in self-perception lead to massive changes in financial reality. Taking action reinforces self-worth. Confidence does not come from thinking differently alone, it comes from acting differently. Asking for a raise, setting higher rates, or stepping into leadership positions builds internal proof that a person is capable of more. The wealthy mindset is built on repeated actions that reinforce a sense of value and self-belief. Many people assume that wealth will make them feel worthy, but the truth is the opposite. A strong sense of worth creates wealth. Money is a byproduct of confidence, value, and self-belief. The way to financial success is not just about learning strategies but about developing the mindset of someone who naturally attracts and sustains wealth. The first step is deciding to see yourself as someone who deserves it. Chapter 5. The wealthy and their relationship with time. Time is the most valuable asset the wealthy have, and they treat it as such. Unlike the poor, who often trade time for money, the rich focus on using time as a tool for wealth creation. They understand that money can be regained, but time, once lost, is gone forever. This mindset shift is one of the most crucial differences between financial success and financial struggle. Most people operate under the belief that working harder and longer is the key to wealth. They trade hours for wages, believing that the more time they put in, the more money they will make. This is a flawed approach, because it places a strict limit on income. There are only so many hours in a day, and once a person has maxed out their working capacity, their earnings stop growing. The wealthy avoid this trap by focusing on leverage, finding ways to make money that are not directly tied to their time. One of the most powerful ways the rich leverage time is through assets. They invest in businesses, stocks, real estate, or intellectual property that generate income without requiring their constant effort. This allows them to earn money, even when they are not actively working. The poor, on the other hand, rely solely on active income, meaning if they stop working, their income stops as well. This keeps them trapped in a cycle of exchanging time for money with no way to scale their earnings. Delegation is another key strategy the wealthy use to free up time. They understand that time spent on low-value tasks is time that could be invested in high-impact activities. Instead of trying to do everything themselves, they hire employees, assistants, or service providers to handle routine work. This allows them to focus on tasks that generate more income and create greater opportunities. The poor mindset often resists delegation, seeing it as an unnecessary expense rather than a tool for efficiency and growth. The way people perceive time also plays a significant role in their financial success. The wealthy think in long-term time frames, while the poor often focus only on immediate needs. The rich make decisions based on how an action will pay off years down the line, while those struggling financially prioritize short-term gratification. This difference explains why the wealthy invest in assets that compound over time, while the poor frequently spend money on things that provide temporary satisfaction but no lasting value. A poor mindset sees time as something to be filled with work, while a wealthy mindset sees time as something to be optimized. This is why wealthy individuals create systems that allow them to maximize productivity. They schedule their time strategically, ensuring that their daily actions align with their long-term financial goals. The poor mindset, however, often results in wasted time, hours spent on distractions, unimportant tasks, or activities that do not contribute to financial growth. The difference in mindset also extends to how people handle setbacks. The poor mindset reacts to short-term failures with frustration and discouragement, often giving up too soon. The wealthy mindset sees time as an ally, understanding that financial success is a long game. They remain patient and persistent, knowing that wealth is built over years, not overnight. This perspective allows them to stay committed to their goals, even when they face obstacles. Another critical factor is opportunity cost, the understanding that every decision has a price. The wealthy are highly aware of how they spend their time and evaluate whether an activity is moving them closer to their financial goals. The poor, however, often waste time on low-value activities without considering the long-term consequences. They may spend hours watching television, scrolling through social media, or engaging in unproductive habits, never realizing that this time could have been used to develop skills, build relationships, or create new income streams. Reevaluating how time is used is one of the most powerful steps toward financial transformation. Start by identifying where time is being wasted and shift focus to activities that generate long-term value. Invest in learning skills that will increase earning potential. Create systems that allow money to work independently. Make decisions with a long-term perspective. Wealth is not just about how much money is made, but about how effectively time is leveraged. The key to financial success is not just working harder but working smarter. Chapter 6. Thinking in terms of value, not effort. Wealth is not created by working harder but by providing more value. The rich understand this, while the poor often believe that effort alone determines financial success. This difference in thinking explains why some people struggle despite working long hours while others build wealth by focusing on high-value activities. Money flows to those who create and deliver value, not necessarily to those who work the hardest. Most people are conditioned to believe that success is a direct result of how much effort they put in. They equate long hours with higher earnings, assuming that working harder will eventually lead to financial freedom. But if effort alone determined wealth, the hardest workers would be the richest people in the world. Instead, the wealthiest individuals focus on impact rather than effort. They ask, how can I create the most value in the least amount of time? Value is determined by how much a product, service, or skill improves someone's life. The more valuable something is to others, the more they are willing to pay for it. This is why skilled professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors make more money than people who simply trade time for wages. They understand that financial success is about solving problems, meeting needs, and offering solutions that people desire. A person working long hours at a low-paying job may be putting in significant effort, but if the work is easily replaceable, their income remains limited. Meanwhile, a business owner who develops a solution that helps thousands of people can generate substantial wealth with significantly less direct effort. This is not about fairness, it is about understanding how money works. The market rewards value, not sweat. To shift from an effort-based mindset to a value-based mindset, it is essential to focus on skills and knowledge. People who develop specialized skills or create unique solutions are in high demand. They are able to charge premium prices because what they offer is not easily replaced. This is why doctors, lawyers, engineers, and business owners earn more than minimum wage workers. Their skills solve complex problems that people are willing to pay for. Another critical factor is scalability. When effort is the only driver of income, there is a limit to how much money can be made because time is finite. Wealthy individuals focus on creating systems, products, and businesses that generate income without requiring their constant input. They build assets that work for them, whether it is through investments, intellectual property, or automation. This allows them to increase their income without increasing their workload. The poor mindset often leads people to resist this idea. They may think, if I work harder, I should earn more. But effort alone does not determine income, value does. This is why a factory worker putting in 12-hour shifts may earn less than a consultant who works 4 hours a day. The consultant's knowledge provides greater value to clients, so they can charge more. One way to start thinking in terms of value is to ask, how can I make what I do more valuable to others? This could mean learning new skills, improving expertise, or finding ways to help more people. Instead of asking, how can I make more money? Ask, how can I create more value? The more value provided, the more money will naturally follow. Another way to increase value is through leverage. This means using resources like technology, employees, or systems to multiply results. A writer who sells a book online can reach thousands of readers without additional effort, while someone writing individual reports for clients is limited by the number of hours in a day. The key is to shift from one-to-one income models to one-to-many models. The difference between rich and poor is not just about effort but about approach. The wealthy understand that time and energy should be spent where they have the most impact. By focusing on value instead of effort, it is possible to break free from the cycle of working harder for little return and start building real wealth. Chapter 7. The Power of Financial Education. Wealthy people do not rely on luck or natural talent to build financial success. They educate themselves about money, investments, and opportunities. In contrast, the poor mindset assumes that money management is either common sense or too complicated to understand. This difference in financial education creates the gap between those who struggle and those who thrive. Traditional education rarely teaches financial literacy. Schools focus on academic subjects but fail to prepare students for real-world financial decisions. People graduate knowing how to solve equations or analyze literature, but lack basic knowledge about budgeting, investing, taxes, and wealth-building strategies. The wealthy recognize this gap and take responsibility for their own financial education. The poor mindset assumes that making money is all that matters, while the wealthy mindset understands that keeping and growing money is equally important. Many people earn a good income but still struggle financially because they lack the knowledge to manage their wealth effectively. Without financial education, high earners can end up living paycheck to paycheck, constantly upgrading their lifestyle without building real security. One of the most damaging beliefs is that wealth building is only for financial experts. Many people assume that investing, business, and asset management are too complicated for the average person. This leads them to avoid learning about these topics, leaving them at a disadvantage. The wealthy understand that financial knowledge is not reserved for a select few. Anyone can learn how to grow money with the right education and mindset. The rich also understand the importance of learning from those who have already succeeded. They seek out mentors, read books by financial experts, and attend seminars to gain insights. Instead of making costly mistakes on their own, they learn from the experiences of others. The poor mindset, on the other hand, often resists this approach, either out of skepticism or fear of looking uninformed. This resistance keeps people stuck in financial ignorance, repeating the same mistakes year after year. Another critical lesson in financial education is the difference between assets and liabilities. Many people assume that anything expensive is an asset, but this is not always true. A car, for example, loses value over time and requires ongoing expenses, making it a liability rather than an asset. The wealthy focus on acquiring real assets, things that generate income or appreciate in value, such as real estate, stocks, or businesses. Those who lack financial education often accumulate liabilities, believing they are building wealth when they are actually increasing their expenses. Understanding cash flow is another fundamental concept that separates the rich from the poor. Most people think only in terms of income, how much they earn. The wealthy, however, think in terms of cash flow, how money moves in and out of their financial system. They ensure that more money is coming in from investments and passive income sources than is going out in expenses. This allows them to achieve financial independence, while those who rely solely on a paycheck remain stuck in a cycle of dependency. Financial education also teaches the importance of tax strategy. The wealthy know how to legally minimize their tax burden through smart planning, while the poor mindset sees taxes as an unavoidable expense with no way to optimize them. Understanding tax laws, deductions, and business structures can significantly impact financial success, yet many people never take the time to learn about these opportunities. Perhaps the most important aspect of financial education is the mindset shift it creates. When people begin learning about money, they stop seeing wealth as a mystery and start seeing it as a skill set. They realize that financial success is not about luck or privilege, but about knowledge and application. This shift in perspective empowers them to take control of their financial future rather than leaving it to chance. The difference between financial struggle and financial success often comes down to knowledge. The wealthy make learning about money a priority, while the poor mindset assumes financial education is unnecessary. The good news is that anyone can change this by committing to financial learning. The more a person knows about money, the more control they have over their financial destiny. Chapter 8. The role of networks and influence. Wealth is not just about what you know, it is also about who you know. The rich understand that success is often built through relationships, while the poor mindset tends to focus on individual effort alone. The people you associate with shape your financial future more than most realize. Your network determines your access to opportunities, ideas, and resources that can accelerate wealth creation. The wealthy prioritize surrounding themselves with like-minded individuals who challenge them to think bigger. They seek out mentors, successful peers, and experts who provide guidance and connections. They understand that proximity to success breeds success. In contrast, those with a poverty mindset often stay within social circles that reinforce limiting beliefs about money. Conversations may center around struggle, scarcity, and why success is difficult rather than how to achieve it. One of the most powerful financial lessons is that opportunities are often shared within networks before they become publicly available. High-level investments, business partnerships, and insider knowledge rarely appear in mainstream job postings or advertisements. Instead, they are discussed in boardrooms, networking events, and private conversations among those who have positioned themselves in the right circles. The wealthy recognize this and actively place themselves in environments where they can gain access to valuable information and resources. Building a strong network does not mean using people for personal gain. The most successful individuals approach networking with a mindset of providing value. Instead of asking, "What can I get from this person?" they ask, "How can I help this person?" This attitude builds trust and long-term relationships that lead to mutually beneficial opportunities. The poor mindset, however, often views networking as transactional, seeking immediate personal benefit without considering how to contribute in return. Confidence plays a significant role in building influential relationships. Many people hesitate to reach out to successful individuals, fearing rejection or feeling unworthy. The wealthy understand that relationships are built through intentional effort, not luck. They take the initiative to introduce themselves, attend events, and cultivate relationships over time. They also recognize that even small connections can lead to significant opportunities down the road. The way people handle criticism and advice also separates the rich from the poor. Those with a wealthy mindset welcome constructive feedback from those who have achieved success. They seek mentorship and are willing to adjust their strategies based on guidance from experienced individuals. Those with a poor mindset often reject advice, assuming they already know enough or fearing that others will judge them. This resistance to learning from others limits growth and financial progress. Your network also affects your mindset on a daily basis. If you are surrounded by people who complain about money, avoid financial risks, and settle for less, it becomes difficult to think differently. The wealthy ensure they spend time with people who inspire, challenge, and push them toward growth. They seek out environments where success is normalized, making it easier to adopt the habits and beliefs that lead to wealth. One of the fastest ways to upgrade your financial mindset is to change your environment. Attend events where successful people gather. Join mastermind groups, professional organizations, or online communities that focus on business and wealth creation. Read books, listen to podcasts, and expose yourself to new perspectives that expand your thinking. The more you engage with people who have already achieved financial success, the more your own beliefs and behaviors will shift in that direction. The difference between financial struggle and financial success is often 1 degree of separation. A single conversation, introduction, or recommendation can open the door to a life-changing opportunity. The wealthy actively cultivate relationships that create these possibilities. Those with a poor mindset, however, often isolate themselves, assuming they must figure everything out alone. Wealth is not just built through effort but through strategic relationships. Your network has the power to elevate or limit your financial future. The choice lies in who you surround yourself with and how you engage with those who can help you grow. Chapter 9. The Wealthy and Their Relationship with Failure. Failure is one of the greatest fears holding people back from financial success. The wealthy, however, do not see failure as an endpoint. They view it as a necessary step toward progress. The poor mindset avoids failure at all costs, while the rich embrace it as a learning experience. This single shift in perspective determines whether a person remains stuck or continues growing. Most people have been conditioned to see failure as something negative. From a young age, mistakes are punished and perfection is rewarded. This leads to an avoidance mindset, where people hesitate to take risks because they fear looking foolish or losing what they have. The wealthy reject this thinking. They understand that every successful person has failed multiple times before reaching their goals. They do not let setbacks define them. Instead, they use them as feedback to refine their approach. Fear of failure often leads to inaction. Many people never start a business, ask for a promotion, or invest because they are afraid of making a mistake. This fear keeps them in the same financial position year after year. The wealthy, on the other hand, take action despite uncertainty. They know that failure is temporary, but inaction guarantees stagnation. They ask themselves, what is the worst that can happen? And realize that failure is rarely as devastating as their fears suggest. One of the biggest differences between the rich and the poor is how they respond to setbacks. Those with a poor mindset see failure as proof that they are not capable. They internalize it, believing they are not good enough or that success is not meant for them. The wealthy mindset sees failure as external and temporary. Instead of saying, I failed because I am not good at this, they say, I failed because I need to improve my strategy. This shift allows them to keep going, adjusting and learning along the way. Wealthy individuals also separate emotion from failure. While they experience disappointment like anyone else, they do not allow it to dictate their future decisions. They analyze what went wrong, adjust their strategy, and try again. Those with a poor mindset often let emotions take over. They feel embarrassed, frustrated, or discouraged, and instead of learning from the experience, they quit. One of the best examples of this is in entrepreneurship. Most successful business owners did not get it right on their first attempt. They faced rejection, lost money, and made mistakes. But instead of giving up, they adapted. The poor mindset, however, treats one failed attempt as a sign to stop trying. This is why so many people dream of financial success but never achieve it. They are unwilling to fail their way to success. The wealthy also understand the importance of persistence. They know that setbacks are inevitable, but quitting guarantees failure. They view each challenge as a test of resilience. If one approach does not work, they try another. If an investment goes wrong, they learn from it. They do not take failure personally, they see it as a necessary cost of success. Another major difference is how the rich and the poor interpret other people's failures. Those with a poor mindset use someone else's failure as proof that they should not take risks. They say, that person tried and failed, so I won't even attempt it. The wealthy mindset does the opposite. They study failures to understand what went wrong, then use that knowledge to avoid the same mistakes. Reframing failure is one of the most powerful mindset shifts a person can make. Instead of fearing it, see it as a teacher. Every setback carries a lesson. The wealthy succeed because they are willing to fail more times than others are willing to try. The difference between those who struggle and those who thrive is not intelligence, luck, or talent. It is the willingness to keep going despite failure. Success is not about avoiding failure but learning how to navigate through it. Chapter 10: Money Management and the Power of Systems. Wealth is not just about how much money is made but how well it is managed. Many people assume that earning more will solve their financial problems, but without a system in place, even a high income can disappear quickly. The wealthy understand that financial success is not random, it is built on intentional money management strategies. They do not rely on willpower or luck. Instead, they use systems that ensure their money grows over time. One of the biggest mistakes people make is managing money reactively rather than proactively. Those with a poor mindset wait until bills are due before thinking about money. They spend first and save whatever is left, which often results in nothing being saved at all. The wealthy do the opposite. They assign every dollar a purpose before it is spent, ensuring that financial goals come first. This proactive approach creates financial stability and long-term wealth. Automation is one of the most powerful tools the wealthy use to manage money effectively. They set up automatic transfers to savings, investments, and retirement accounts. This removes the temptation to spend everything they earn and ensures that wealth building happens consistently. The poor mindset relies on discipline alone, which often fails in the face of daily spending temptations. The rich eliminate this struggle by making financial success a default setting. Another key difference is how the rich and poor approach budgeting. Those with a poor mindset often view budgets as restrictive, believing they limit their ability to enjoy life. The wealthy see budgets as a tool for freedom. They know that controlling money does not mean deprivation, it means ensuring that spending aligns with long-term goals. A budget is not about spending less, it is about spending smarter. The rich also prioritize paying themselves first. Before covering expenses, they allocate money to savings, investments, and wealth-building activities. The poor mindset, however, pays everyone else first: landlords, utility companies, and retailers, before thinking about savings. This leads to a cycle where there is never enough left over to build wealth. By flipping this approach and treating savings like a non-negotiable expense, financial security becomes inevitable. One of the most overlooked aspects of money management is tracking cash flow. The wealthy regularly review their finances, analyzing where money is coming from and where it is going. They make adjustments as needed, ensuring that their spending aligns with their goals. Those with a poor mindset often avoid looking at their finances altogether, hoping things will work out on their own. Ignoring money problems does not make them disappear, it only allows them to grow worse. The way people handle debt also separates the wealthy from the poor. The poor mindset sees debt as normal, using credit to maintain a lifestyle they cannot afford. The rich avoid unnecessary debt and use leverage strategically. They borrow to acquire assets, not liabilities. They understand the difference between good debt, which generates income, and bad debt, which drains financial resources. This disciplined approach allows them to use debt as a tool rather than a trap. Investing is another area where the rich and poor think differently. The poor mindset sees investing as risky, preferring to keep money in savings accounts that lose value to inflation. The wealthy understand that growing money requires putting it to work. They educate themselves on investment opportunities, whether in stocks, real estate, or business ventures, and allow time and compound interest to build their wealth. Perhaps the most important aspect of money management is having a long-term perspective. The wealthy think in decades, not just months or years. They make financial decisions based on how they will impact their future, not just their present. The poor mindset focuses on immediate gratification, making choices that feel good now, but create financial struggles later. The ability to delay gratification and stick to a financial plan is what ultimately leads to financial freedom. Wealth is not built by chance, it is the result of systems and habits. The people who succeed financially are not always the ones who make the most money, but the ones who manage it best. By adopting proactive money management, automating good financial habits, and thinking long-term, anyone can break free from financial stress and build lasting wealth. Take care and be well.